Today we're going to do a simple tutorial on how to set up your first Dreamweaver site in order to support syncing abilities, diffing against files on there. It's especially useful if you're working with multiple people, or even if you're just doing a job for someone else and all of a sudden you have to get in there and you want to see if anything's changed since then. That way, whenever you make changes, you're not overriding what they're doing. And this is done completely without SVN, Git, or any of that, so there doesn't have to be any type of RCS revision control system already on the server. It's all built into Dreamweaver. It's pretty awesome. Alright. So first, you want to go here, manage sites, go to new. This one, we're just going to call it devsavona.com and devsavona.com. You want to go to your server section, and you can really call it anything you want. You can call it my dev server. There's no real thing right there that's important. And then FTP address, just your username, password, all that good stuff. Now another thing you want to pay attention to is, well, it's checking there, root directory. You're going to want to have to set that up as well. Say you're on a cPanel server, you're normally going to want to set that to public HTML. Alright, as you see, I got that fixed. Apparently, I got put on my own field ban for a second on my server. Yeah, what I was going to say is that you're going to actually want to change this to your directory you're actually going to be working in. I'll show you why in a second. We'll come back here. Alright, so we have this all set up, right? We're going to come back to the screen. Done. Alright, right here you have local and remote view. I'm going to switch over to remote just to tell you what I'm talking about. See, normally this is my actual web directory. This is what you see on the internet, all this stuff. We want to actually work inside of the web directory though. We don't want to be out of here. So this is normally what I do. Go back here, manage sites, edit, set it up right there. Go ahead and test my connection one more time. It says we're good. And go ahead and select testing. I usually just set it up on both. This allows me to do the live view, and so whenever I push my files, they go there. Alright, now once you do that, it's gonna rebuild a cache. And the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to download your whole site. I'm gonna switch to a site that's already set up in here. Now let's do PHP proxies. Alright, I think I probably modified some stuff here since I've been here last. Alright, this is assuming you already downloaded your site. That's the green arrow right there. If you're on Windows, it looks pretty much the same. And Windows, again, this is the synchronize button. It looks slightly different. I think it looks somewhat like a planet or something. It's been a while since I used a Windows version of Dreamweaver, but go ahead and select that. You can either do entire or select it local files only. This case we're going to do entire. When you do select it, that's depending upon what files you have selected here, or folders and whatnot. You can also do put and get, and also get and put. Now, let's show you the difference between this. If you're doing this, you're not going to get this option right here. But if you're on put, this is going to delete the remote files on the local drive. No, delete the files that aren't local drive. So when you're pushing it there, the files don't exist on the upstream server. It's just going to ignore it. Alright, put files, but we're getting this time, right? Let's just go ahead and get, and I'm not deleting my local files, but sometimes you might want to do that if you're working with a team, and let's just go ahead and do that. It'll tell us some information. So it's gonna connect to the site, and it's gonna scan everything. we can do these whenever. Let's just look at this HT access. This is actually all ISP config things. That's the web manager I have up on this one. Let's look at the difference between the style. This right here, this is a diff. You actually have to configure this in Dreamweaver, and I'll show you that later. So, you click that command, it's going to open up whatever program you have set to do a diff. Now sometimes you're going to see it like this. This just means there's a date timestamp difference, I think. Alright, we gotta actually show you a file. Alright, we're gonna go into here. Index PHP. Let's change a keyword. Non-wiser Tor. Let's add proxies to the list. And while we're at it, let's show you another thing. Dreamweaver also has the ability to cloak directories, and this will be so it doesn't sync that. I really don't care about what's in the stats when I'm downloading, so I'm going to cloak that directory. I have this selected. Let's go ahead and sync it again. There you go. Now you see index PHP. You can do a diff of it. If you're working with someone else, you'll see what actually changed from your file. This is mostly useful as if you're changing files, like for this example, index. Let's go ahead and open this. Let's see, I want to add, let's add a meta tag, name. So word. Let's just put it as this. Okay. Actually, let's just show you what happens whenever you try to push this. No. Wow. It's telling us there's a difference. You can do a compare here as well. By the way, how I did this is I pressed Command Shift U, or on Windows that'd be Control Shift U. You see right here, it's telling me here's the differences. Alright, here's my file, here's their file. There's the difference there, it's highlighted, and there's the difference here. Now, how do you set up this awesome thing? Because it's actually not built into it. You go into Preferences, go to File Compare, and you set up what program you have set to do that. I have OpenDiff, comes with Macs. With Windows, you'll want to use WinMerge. So now let's go ahead and preview, get newer files from remote. Add. It's telling me to resolve it. I want to get it though. Change that right there. If you want to delete it as well, this will mark the file for deletion on your local machine. If you're pushing, it'll mark the one upstream for deletion. So go ahead and get. Because I have it opened, Windows, this will actually tell you it was modified outside of Dreamweaver. It's even more confusing. This just tells me it's been modified. And yeah, I want to continue. I'm going to reload it. Again, it's confusing on Windows because it's going to tell you it's modified outside, which really it's being modified inside. Now you notice I have a lot of gray areas in here. I'll explain that later. That's because I'm actually using Dreamweaver templates to build this whole page. It allows me to pretty much edit one file and update everything else. It's almost like a built-in CMS to Dreamweaver. It's pretty cool. Now, that's pretty much basically it. So you have your get, your push, your sync, and you drop some files in your directory outside of Dreamweaver, you'll want to hit refresh to get it to show up in this area. Oh, and I'm Rick of Silvona Services. Hope you enjoyed this video.